People are already talking about trading RJ for OG and
Hang tight,
Anunoby.
hang tight. Hang tight, hang tight, hang tight. All right, let's see if we live. All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Monday night. Another edition of Knicks Weekly, episode 63. CP the franchise, Alex Charles on the ones and twos. On today's show, Josh Hart and the Knicks extending his player option deadline to later this week. We'll tell you what all that means and what's in store for the Knicks on free agency. Plus, our top 5 Knicks trades to make this offseason, man. Last episode, we talked about our top 5 free agents with the mid-level exception. But tonight, we're going to talk about our top 5 trade scenarios that the Knicks should look into. Plus, OG Anunoby is ditching Clutch Sports. What does that mean, man? We'll put our tinfoil hats on, see what's going on there. And, yeah, man, lock in for another great show. So to Knicks Nation, man, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP and Alex on the ones and twos, man. Salute, 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 salute. All right, that was good, man. How you feeling, bro?
Good, bro. We just did a show, NBA Report, earlier this afternoon with John Krasinski of The Athletic.
Yeah.
So, that was great. Talked about top 10 free agents, both at the guard and wing position. I'm chilling, man.
Yeah.
Just enjoyed the weekend. Got outside a little bit.
Oh, yeah? Did you do a little grilling or what?
Yeah, I grilled a little bit, but there was a street fair right down my block. So I just went up and down the street, got some, fried Oreos.
Yeah.
Had all the bad stuff that you get at a street fair, but
Of course.
it was good, man. It was good stuff. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good, man. Family time, so spent some time. Some family came into town, so I was chilling with them. Did a little partying Saturday night, turn back the clock a little bit, man. Turn back the clock. Yeah, Saturday was a little rough. Sunday morning was a little rough for your boy.
Turn back the clock, you say? What
it was a classic night, man. It was a classic night. Got suited and booted. So some close friend of mine's birthday party. So it was nice, nice festive gathering, nice spread, nice crib. Bar was stacked. So
there it is. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, it was one of those nights, turn back the clock nights where, the bourbon just had me hemmed up a little bit, but it was nice. It was nice, It was nice, man. Enjoyed it and had a good time. Sunday was a little rough. So therefore, we had Knicks Weekly today.
See if you waking up, you're like, oh snap! I got responsibilities. I forgot about this.
That's exactly how Sunday happened. Man. But yeah, it was nice. It was one of those things, man. You do every once in a while.
Look,
so
man, you need one of those type of days, right?
Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So anyway, man, in the news today, yesterday rather, the Knicks and Josh Hart have agreed to hold off on a decision on his player option. Sources told our guy Ian Begley and SNY, man. So as you know, the decision was for his player option was supposed to be originally made on June 25th. They decided to extend it until midnight on Thursday. That is whether or not he's going to opt in to his $12.9 million contract, the player option, or decline the option and become an unrestricted free agent. Now, according to our guy Ian Begley, if he agrees to the player option, he would be eligible for a 4-year extension worth up to $80 million with the Knicks in August. This would also give the Knicks access to the full non-taxpayer mid-level exception, which would be $12.4 million, and create more room below the salary apron. As he also says, the Knicks may want more room below the apron because they are considering a move that would hard cap them at the apron. They would be hard capped at the apron if they use their full non-taxpayer mid-level exception. So here's the thing. They would also be hard capped at the apron if they executed a trade that returned more than 110% of the salary they sent out. So there's a lot of benefits for him to opt in, and then they extend him that way. And there would be they would get the full mid-level to spend, the full 12.4. Plus, if they needed to make a trade, they'd be able to send out 110%. I mean, they would be able to receive 110% of the salary that they sent out. So there that is. There that is.
CP. I got to put the tinfoil cap on.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
Is this a move to get Paul George now, or is this a move because this team likes to make moves at the trade deadline during the regular season? We discussed that on the NBA report.
Yeah.
Which is it?
I don't think they're in on PG.
Okay.
I don't think they're in on PG.
Is this for Zach LaVine?
Could be. Could be. Very much could be. Yeah, I think that's what we'll see. I think that he will help the Knicks out. Opt in. They'll probably take care of him. I mean, 4-year, 80 is like, ugh, Okay, he helped. He definitely was a difference maker for us. 4-year, 80 or up to 80. I think that's what we'll end up seeing by Thursday.
4 years, up to $80 million.
Yeah.
Why are you grimacing, CP?
I mean, it's just, look, I like Hart. I like Hart the player. I like what he brings to the team, the intangibles. But, man, you're going to give Hart over 20. You're going to give IQ over 20. You're going to give Quick over 20. Oof. It's kind of spooky. It's kind of spooky. I mean, look, still tradable based on their talent levels and based on their contributions and their impact. It's just, it's tight, man. It's definitely tight.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the whole 4 years, $20 million for a guy like Josh Hart. I'm just thinking about guys who were making his range. I thought it was 17, 18. Obviously, it could still be that. We'll see.
Yeah, could still be that.
He may be saying, look, I'm doing a deal now, right? The cap always increases every single year. If he opts in this year, he's like, look, I did you a favor, so that way you can use the mid-level exception.
Right.
You got to take care of me
now.
now.
They're going to take care of him on the other end. It has to be. Because he'd be making less than what he could probably get out there on the open market.
You got to make it back up somehow, right? So that could be what he's thinking in the deal on that end. 4 for 20. It sounds terrible right now, but I need to know the percentage of the cap for the following season, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look at that number and be squeamish until I know, is it jumping up? Because we've seen this before where it jumps up dramatically and it's like, oh, 20 million. It sounds a lot to us compared to what we were used to. We talked about this in the past where we're used to like seeing like $5-8 million contracts for role players. Now we're seeing 20. And it's like, is that the new norm? And it is the new norm for role players. So I'll wait and see. But obviously hearing it first right now, not great. But I will say this, because while we're on the topic of Josh Hart, there's been some chatter on Knicks Twitter, especially yesterday, where it's the dog days of summer, no basketball really going on, post lottery. Some people think we should some fans, I should say, are not happy with the trade for Josh Hart because of this, where you got to look to pay him. Was he really that big of an impact? This is a whole discussion on Twitter, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Josh Hart being on the team?
I love the player. And if you're telling me that you had to trade a late first, it's a gamble, man. You're going to trade a late first for a player of that caliber, right? I mean, what were the odds that they were going to get a starting level, a real impact player with that pick that would be ready to go based on where this team's expectations are? You traded that pick for a Josh Hart, who's ready to go right now. He fixes a lot of the team's problems, and he was a big reason why they were able to lock in that 5th seed. I think there's no way around it. Like, was a draft pick going to come in and do what Josh Hart did for this team this year? I don't see it. However, when you look at what this team needs and you look at the deficiencies of this team, they're at a point where, yes, even with the Josh Hart, they're still capped ceiling standpoint because they need more. They need their young players to take it up one more notch or two. right? They need some young player to be a star. Let's keep it a buck. It's got to be RJ. It's got to be quick. One or the other. So you need that. You still need a big wing. Josh Hart is only 6'4".
Yep.
He does a lot. He makes up for his lack of height with his physicality and his size. So again, the player and what he brings is an asset to this team. It's just that they just need more. They just need a lot more.
Well, the conversation right now, and I mentioned this player prior on a draft I don't know if it's on a draft show or we're talking about what player would you hope the Knicks to get if they moved into the draft. I said Chris Murray. That's actually who the Blazers selected with the Knicks pick at 23.
Yeah.
So would you want someone like Chris Murray? Let's use him because that's who that was the Knicks pick.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Knicks had to have selected him. We don't know if they would have selected him.
Right.
Well, let's just play that game, right? Chris Murray, Josh Hart. Where are you going?
Right now, well, for the Knicks right now, you got to go with the established player. We don't know what Chris Murray's going to look like. You could assume that he's safe and that he has a high floor at the very least. You know what I mean? Like, you can assume that, but you don't know until the guy gets in there. He's going to be a rookie. He's going to be a rookie. Josh Hart, one thing about Josh Hart is that he's a very cerebral player. But that comes with his pedigree and also his years of experience in the league. That's why he was able to just come through, boom, right away and hit the ground running. Because he's a low maintenance player, but he knows what he needs to do out there. He's a high IQ player. So it's hard to say, well, Chris Murray could have just plugged and play and been just as good on a rookie deal, and then you get a lot of value out of that. It's hard to just predict that. It's a lot easier to know exactly what you're going to get from Josh Hart. You knew coming in that he was going to be the guy who was going to lead your team and be one of your leaders in rebounds, especially on the perimeter. He had already established himself as that, a capable playmaker, a guy that all that was already established at the pro level. So it was pretty easy to see that he was going to come and help this team. Now, is a Murray or a guy that you were going to get with the 20-something pick in the draft going to do the same? It's hard to say. At the same time, yes, it is a little bit frustrating that 2 years in a row they didn't have a pick. You look at guys like a Jalen Williams who with OKC who was out there, and some of these other guys that got drafted last year. It's a little disappointing that they didn't take a swing at a young up and comer. Ian Begley did report that they did try to get back into the first round this year, but had no luck. So right now, it just seems like the best path for this team right now is going to be via the trade market. It's going to be via the trade market.
Well, good thing this is a trade show.
The good thing this is a trade show.
But I agree with you. And when I spoke to Dexter, I said, I wanted someone like Chris Murray just because of the 3-and-D base level projection for him, right? Yeah. But at the same time, I think you can also understand for the Knicks where if you're looking at the salary cap, how do you add a rookie, still have the cap space? You'd have to make other moves on this roster, whether that's trading someone like a Quickly, trading someone like Obi Toppin, figuring out those type of avenues in order to make sure that you could bring on somebody like that. But maybe not because of where the pick was. Low end salary, right? Something like a Quentin Grimes around that range. But at the same time, is Tibbs going to have that willingness to play a young guy? Because as we've seen, for some guys who can come in and show some sort of contribution, he's willing to play them, like an Emmanuel Quickly, like a Quentin Grimes. Or does he feel like he can't give them their trust and he doesn't have enough room and leverage to let them learn and fail on the court because he's looking to win right now, which is, let's call it a buck, what he thinks of Obi Toppin, right? Also, yes, you could put in perspective that there's a 2-time NBA All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player in front of Obi, right? But still, you could try to finagle some minutes. We've seen it all throughout the league where you get your starters some rest. But these are the questions that I would have going into the draft where I'm understanding of that. I'd like to see a young player on it. It's quite a conundrum when you're watching this team, and it's like 2 years, you're not going to get a rookie scale contract where you got guys who are with Quickly and Obi who are extension eligible. Grimes will be extension eligible next year. You'd think you want to have some cheap talent on the books that you could say, hey, look, like you have a Christian Brown out there for Denver who's making solid contributions in the playoffs. That's how I look at it as.
A true story, man. True story. And real quick, speaking of free agency and Josh Hart and things of that nature, the free agency show will be Friday at 6 p.m. Already confirmed. Tommy Beer is coming through to co-host the show with us. Well, it's going to be three of us, but he will be hosting with us on Friday night. So looking forward to that as well. So definitely lock in there. As far as options for the mid-level exception, now we gave our 5 last week, Al. So, some people didn't really like your list too much. I thought they liked mine a little bit better. But,
whatever.
Nah, they definitely weren't feeling my Georges Niang pick, but he's out there. He's available. He's an option. Now, Ian Begley says that Dante DiVincenzo has fans in the organization. Do they go out there and spend the $12 million on a DiVincenzo? Like I said, I would like to pick up, but it doesn't fully address the need. To me, you're just adding another guard to a already depth full guard lineup. Like we got guys. We got IQ. We got Grimes. We got McBride. You got Hart.
Yeah, this is where you look at the draft and you're like, where you're frustrated because in a draft that had so many wing players, could have gotten a wing. Now you're looking at the wing market. We went through that for the NBA report. There's some guys who are out there, right? But I think when we talk about top 10 wings for the NBA, top 10 guards for the NBA. We're talking about the entire league, right? What team would want to choose these top 10 guys who are out there? For the Knicks, you got to tailor it a little more, right? What are the realistic options? Because let's keep it a buck again. There's guys who are going to be re-signed, kept on this team. You're looking at Josh Hart, who's staying here. He's a lock, right?
Yeah.
Grimes is unless there's a trade down the pipeline, Grimes quickly are still going to be here.
Yeah.
Same thing with RJ, right? Julius, Brunson, Mitch, Hartenstein. Like I just gave you the 8. I gave you 8 out of 9 guys who are going to be starting for this roster. So like you also got McBride on this team. Maybe that's going to be your 10th guy right there. Forget who I'm missing. Who is it? Brunson, Grimes, RJ, Julius, Mitch, Hartenstein, Obi, Quickly, Hart. Like that's your 9. Those are your 9s right there.
Yeah.
So where else do you fit? Like unless you're getting somebody who can be on that second unit via free agency, or you're trading Obi and you need to get somebody back, or you're trading one of the other guards as you mentioned. Like this is where why would you want DiVincenzo, as good as a player he is, when you have Emmanuel Quickly, who's shown promise, and don't you want to show the rest of the league that we'll extend a guy who we drafted, that we repay you for putting the time, the effort, the work to improve your game? So it would be a little strange just to say we're going to just trade Quickly, unless it's for someone valuable in return, to just go out and get Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a talented player. He's a scrapper. People say, well, he can take Deuce's spot, I guess. But I mean, is that all we're really looking for in this offseason, is to bring back Hart, sign Quickly, and sign a replacement for Deuce McBride? It's underwhelming is the word I'm looking for, man. It would be a very underwhelming offseason if that is the best that they could.
Would that be surprising for this team, CP? Would that be surprising for this team for underwhelming signings during the offseason?
I mean, this is their MO, man. They're not ready to take a risk. And, in some ways, you can't really blame them. But in other ways, it's like, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating.
Why is it frustrating, though?
Because we need needle movers, man. We need needle movers. I'll wait. We made it to the second round last year.
Anyone out there? Is there anyone that's a needle mover that we know that's available right now? Like, listen to all the trades that we have. We have Zach LaVine, Paul George, Karl Anthony Towns. Any of those guys really moving the needle for you? Like PG definitely would move the needle, but obviously the health concerns are out there.
Yeah. It's looking bleak, man.
So like, I get watching everybody like, oh, these teams are making trades. These teams are making trades, dealing left and right. Why aren't the Knicks doing anything?
Well, that I did hear that, and some people, especially when we dropped the video on the Collins trade, they're like, oh, well, look at all these situations. Why can't the Knicks do anything? I'm like, well, John Collins would have never made sense with it. Like, you can't look at certain trades and trade packages and relate that to the Knicks, and they're like, every situation is different. The Collins trade worked because, number one, he was on the trading block for 3 years. The price ultimately came down as time passed and as the Hawks were more and more pressed to watch their spending and be mindful of that second apron. Plus, they weren't going anywhere with him anyway for the last couple of years. So the Jazz, who had been after him for quite some time, could afford to take that on, to take on the contract. They got to pay somebody. They're in rebuild mode. They will likely look to flip him in a year or two. And so it works for them. Every situation is different. The Beal situation, he had a no-trade clause. The Knicks were never involved in that. So every situation is different. You can't just look at, well, these guys are going for this price. Why can't the Knicks do anything? It's all about who's available, who they want, and what the price is going to be. But every scenario, every trade is going to be different, man. Definitely going to be different.
I see, let's see, I see Gerard B saying, Alex, take a chance once in a while. Look, man, I'm willing to take a chance. I just did a whole thing on PG-13 on the last show. I'm willing to trade for PG-13. I'm willing to take that risk for 2 years. I won't give him an extension, but I'm willing to take that risk for 2 years. See what happens.
Who's Torrey Craig? Torrey Craig is with CAA. Let's get Torrey Craig in here, man. Let me Torrey Craig in here. Off the bench.
That's the upgrade?
I mean, I'd take him over DiVincenzo.
Is there what could the Knicks get Austin Reeves? Let's say Austin Reeves decides to test the market, leaves the Lakers. What's that move look like?
Austin Reeves, I mean, that's probably a 15. You gonna sign and trade for him?
Probably.
Will you give it up?
Think the Lakers. I mean, he would have to start.
Look, man, are we giving up IQ or are we giving up Grimes in a move for quick? You got to give LeBron something. He's still his window. They believe their window is still open. You got to give him something. You got to give him a rotation ready play if you're gonna get rid of White Iverson, man. He's got his own shoe deal. He's serious right now.
I'd probably keep Grimes. Okay with trading IQ for someone like Reeves. But I mean, if we're gonna keep it a buck, man, like we've been doing on this show, looking at that 3 and 4 position, man. This starting lineup needs shooting. Everyone talks about just add a shooter, Yeah. You can't just add a shooter to come off the bench. Unless we're gonna start mixing and matching closing lineups, which until Tibbs shows me that it's not the same formulaic rotations. Could I believe that? This is where you start looking at RJ and Julius. Either they take a step up, shooting threes, lights out, or someone's getting replaced. Unless they have that much confidence that they're going to take that next step forward.
Fair. That is a fair point, man. Let's see who else in the trade for Mikal Bridges. That we have no chance. What about Gary Trent? Gary Trent staying with the Raptors. You want to give up draft picks or you want to give up a draft pick or rotation play for Gary Trent Jr.?
Well, you know what? Let's go into that because we could start the trade things right now, man.
Hang tight. Let me salute the super chats that came in. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We got 1,100 people in here. Let's get those likes up, man. The likes are looking very, very weak for the people that's in here. hit that like button one time. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Also, call us up, man. Phone lines are open, 657-383-1509. Let's go to area code 602. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
Yeah, what's up, CP and Alex? This calling out here in Cancun. I'm still out here. I called the other day. I'm still out here.
Okay.
Master, what do you guys think about trading for Brandon Ingram?
Hey, I would love BI if he's available. I don't think the Pelicans are ready to hit the reset button on their progress. Well, I think all those rumors was BI and Zion. That might have just been testing the market, but I think they run that back with them at least one more year before they decide to make a move. But I would love BI in the Knicks. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I know last year he played like 45 games. And I know, I don't know his 3-point percentage, but I know injury problem. But
he did. He was a little banged up last year.
What about Kyle Kuzma?
We're going to talk about that. We got a Kuzma trade package ready, so we're going to talk about that in a second, man. But, look, I will be up for Kuzma as well, man.
Okay, then. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, hang tight, man. Hang tight. My man calling in from Cancun. He's been in Cancun for like 2 weeks, man. He didn't even give his name. I was like, all right, well, whatever you're doing out there, just, be safe.
How you getting the Knicks out there, bro?
Be safe, man.
Are you living out there? Are you vacationing out there?
I didn't want to ask the guy too many questions, man. He's like, yeah, it's me from Cancun. It's like, okay. We gotta just keep that call short, just in case he does start revealing information. We don't want to be, jammed up in anything. Just get to the trades. Enjoy the beach. We out of here. Yeah, we gotta let him go. Yeah, man's out in Cancun, man. Salute. Absolute salute. Yeah, living that life, man. I did say I was gonna get to the super chats. Let me salute those real quick. Salute to Sage of the Knicks Path. Says, should Leon Rose help the Knicks facilitate a Dame trade to Ohio if it means the Knicks land Spider? I don't get that one. I don't see that happening. But speaking of Dame, he did meet with Trailblazers management today. According to Chris Haynes, Trailblazers management dropped a, basic canned response saying they met with Dame and they're committed to building a contender with Dame. So take that for what you will. $5 super chat from Jub says, OG Ananobi, now that he's no longer a client with the biggest coward agency in the history of modern sports, do the Knicks try to get him to NY? Jub is CAA through and through, ladies and gentlemen. Well, regardless of the representation, you still got to deal with Masai. And if, as the reports say, Siakam is not trying to leave.
That's right.
There's also reports that they're trying to bring back Pirtle. Where they're at, Gary Trent Jr. is opting into his deal. Yep. Doesn't seem like the Raptors are so motivated to just get rid of Anunoby. Like, why would they? It seems like they're almost ready to retool with those guys as their core. And maybe Van Fleet is the only guy, because of salary cap implications, maybe Van Fleet is the guy that shakes loose. But it doesn't seem like the Raptors are resetting by any stretch.
Or maybe teams are just tired of dealing with Masai because his requests are too ridiculous. It's like, look, man, we're trying to do business.
Right.
You're just trying to fleece. We're not in this. We're not doing anything right now. Okay. You can keep everyone over in Toronto. You can keep running with that team. If you're going to be a consistent playing team, go be happy with it until you decide you actually want to do business. Yeah,
I agree, man. If you guys are new in the chat, man, leave us a hashtag and we'll shout you guys out. Shout out Trav in the chat. James Albert, $10 super chat says, everyone sees the team needs better floor spacing. Any thought on calling the Pacers for Hield and Buddy Hield, Miles Turner? Center talks around Mitch, Toppin, Fournier to match salary. Your thoughts there, bro? You laughing? What's so funny?
Let's talk the trade, man. We got trades.
All right. Let me pull it up. Hang on.
I worked on the Pacers trade. I think that's in there.
All right, we'll go to that one first. We will go to that one first. So Give me 2 seconds here. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D, man. Rhyme Animal is in the building. Was watching the BT Awards last night. Busta Rhymes got his flowers as he so rightly deserves. Still the best performer in the game right now. So many years in the game. I mean, they should have closed the show with his performance. His whole set was legendary, man. They brought MOP out. You know, a lot of rappers from my time, man. It was just great to see them out on stage. Split Star still doing his thing. Shout out to Busta. But I say that because in his speech, he gave the Rhyme Animal Chuck D his flowers several times during his speech, man. So yeah, it was great to hear that as well. So shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, man.
Salute.
Absolutely. No better mentor in the game. All right, so let's pull up the Pacers trade that you got here, man. Hang on. Let me make it a little bit bigger here for the people at home to see. And I'll just let them know that this was your trade. So if all tomatoes go to Al. Here we go. First up.
Thanks, CP.
Here we go. All right, here we go. First up, Mitch and Obi to the Pacers for Miles Turner and Jordan Nwora. All right, what's your thought process here, man?
Well, everyone wants to talk about floor spacing, and the fascination with Miles Turner doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So you get your floor spacing center, who was slightly better at shooting threes.
Yep.
Jordan Nwora, he played, I believe he played small ball power forward for them. He's 6'8", so if you want some wing versatility, you got that there. And he shot the 3-ball pretty well off the bench for a guy who's been in the league for a short amount of time. So if you want to buy low on the upside of being a solid bench rotational player, plus getting that floor spacing center, there you go. You move Obi Toppin. Jordan Nwora can fill his position for Tom Thibodeau. And then you also have Mitchell Robinson, because there's no way you're going to have Mitch and Miles Turner on the same team. And that's one option. And we can talk about the other trade that was discussed. I see that I'm now off the Obi hive.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, it was only a matter of time that, you would come to my side of things. But
I didn't say that's what Sam's saying in the chat. I disagree with that. I'm still part of the Obi hive. We're just talking trades, man. Jeez.
Look, I think the Turner thing on how he impacts what Julius and what RJ can do is intriguing, especially if you're going to stay committed to those guys. That starting five needs to be looked at. It needs a hard look. Things might have to get tweaked. And it might be after next season. Do they make a hard decision and retool a little bit, right? We keep saying we need more spacing, we need more shooting. Well, one of the problems is where you have Mitch lined up in the half court, it clogs things up for guys. The problem is what he brings defensively. How do you replace that? That's tough. But there's gonna come a time where you might have to take a gamble on a Turner, man. You might have to. And Mitch is my guy.
Yeah, I made this trade. I'm not doing this trade, just to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just like, these trades are just, you want to see a shakeup, you want to see what's reasonable.
Yeah.
This is one trade that I just threw out there. I wouldn't do it. I'd keep Obi and Mitch just because I like both of their upsides. Seeing how Mitch has progressed, I like his game as being a shot blocker, being a strong offensive rebounder. That's where he's elite. I don't know where you could say, I guess for shot blocking, Miles Turner's elite, but you have the same shot blocking for Mitch, plus he gives you elite offensive rebounding. So I don't know why we want to move off of Mitch, but if you're looking for a trade just because you want to add a center on here that spaces the floor, that's who would be the prize, I guess, possession of this trade. But I still wouldn't do this trade. Like, this is not something I would do. But if you're talking about what would the Knicks maybe do just to get Turn on this team, this would be that trade.
What do you guys think in the chat, man? Would you do this trade, man? Thumbs up if you would do this trade, or tomatoes if not. What's your question, bro?
What was the other trade? The one for Buddy Hield? What was the super chat?
He was just asking for Hield and Turner if we would make a move there.
I think the thing with Hield is that he wants to be a starter in this league. So unless you're thinking about either moving RJ, which I wouldn't do that for Hield, or if you want to move Grimes, which I also wouldn't do that for Hield. He's a good shooter, awesome lethal shooter, good scorer too, but defensively, you'll be burned on that side. And I don't know if you want him and Brunson being your backcourt, like good catch and shoot, pull up three for Buddy Hield, but
yeah,
that's a little tough. That's a little tough.
Yeah, I like Buddy, but you would probably have to either move RJ. You got to get better defensively. It's somewhere in your lineup.
Yeah.
But I do like Buddy though. Isn't he he's going into last year of his deal, right?
Yeah, and when I did previews with Mark Schindler and Caitlin Cooper, they really value Buddy Hield out there. They really like the shooting and the spacing that he offers that team. So I don't see the Pacers moving off of Hield right now. They really value him.
Okay. All right. Oh, this one's a good one. Oh man, this one's a good one. I like this one coming up.
Oh boy.
All right, so that last one was Hield and Nwora for OB and Mitch, right? You're most likely going to lose OB anyway. You get an asset back in a Nwora, and you're swapping Miles for Mitch. Not bad, man. Not bad. Okay, next one up. Let me pull it up. All right. Okay, next one up. Here we go. To the Raptors we go. We just talked about OG Anunoby, man. RJ, 48, Grimes, and the 2024 first lottery protected for OG and Gary Trent Jr. Man, would I do this?
You're doing this trade, right?
Man. Let me go back to this. OG and Trent for RJ, forget 48, RJ, Grimes, and a protected first. What do you guys think in the chat? Are you doing this?
Woo, there's a lot of no's.
Yeah.
And some are saying, yes, doing this. I do this trade. We're getting a lot of no's. Looks like Jamaica Queens is emptying the grocery store as he's throwing a lot of tomatoes.
All right, so what's the rationale here? We're getting Trent.
Well, here, for this trade, what you're getting is you're getting a knockdown shooter in Gary Trent Jr. He plays a shooting guard position. So in that case, you're probably moving off of Grimes. For RJ, you're getting a better shooter in OG, more consistency, a switchable defender who can guard 1 through 4 pretty easily over RJ. So you're improving the defense, improving some offense. You put in Fournier in there just to help out the salary match. And I'm thinking that you're probably going to add a lottery protected first rounder just because it's Masai Ujiri, and if you really want to sweeten the deal, where if he's not trying to move off of OG Anunoby, and Gary Trent just re-signed there, right, where there was thought that he was going to opt out, and if you're trading the lottery, you're also saying that you think you can compete next year. You don't need to go into the draft. Obviously, make it lottery protected just in case things go sideways. But I think this is an upgrade.
I think I'd do it. Yeah, I think I'd do it. Even though I think RJ still has more upside than OG does.
Yeah.
He's a better defender. He's more versatile. He's capable of knocking down a three. And you're getting a better scorer in Trent than what Grimes is right now. Protected first. I think I'd do it.
The one that really has me hung up is the Quentin Grimes one.
Yeah.
Because I believe there's so much more upside to Quentin Grimes than Gary Trent Jr. But these are the risks you got to take if you want to shake up the roster and if you're thinking that this could be an upgrade.
Yeah. I think I do it.
And I've seen a lot of conversation out there in Knicks land saying, can we get Gary Trent Jr.? Can we get Gary Trent Jr.? Well, if you want Gary Trent Jr., there's a spot that someone else is filling.
Yeah. I don't think OG has as much, people talk about RJ offensively, that he's stiff, he has no bag, so on and so forth. He's still impactful in his limitations. Does OG have that in his game? Does he have an offensive ceiling that he hasn't tapped into? I think that's yet to be seen. So it's a little tricky on that end, but they also have to be better defensively, man. And right now, they do not have a capable wing defender. They've got guys that are adequate. I don't forget capable. Good. I want a great defender. I want a great wing defender on this team. With the guys that you have. Because your two all-stars are average to below average defensively. I need somebody to shore that up. And you're getting some scoring power with Gary Trent as well. I think I do it. What do you guys think in the chat, man? Thumbs up on this deal or tomatoes? OG and Gary Trent for RJ. You're sending RJ back up north. You're sending him home. Quentin Grimes and a 2024 lottery protected pick. E. Smith, is that trade taking us to the promised land? Of course not, man. What are you talking about? Of course not. But is it a better? What you're looking for is a complementary roster, a complementary starting five. Is at the beginnings of it. In order to get there, a lot of what we're saying here is in order to get to that point, you might have to move RJ or Julius in the right deal. Right? You're trying to get the puzzle put together properly. No, it's not the move that's going to just take you right over there to the promised land. But it could be the start of putting together a roster of complementary pieces. Chris Dada says, I changed my mind, do it. Jay from PR, better defense, better shooting. Okay. All right. Mixed reactions to that one. Thought the reactions were a little bit better than the Pacers trade.
Yeah, I didn't like the Pacers trade, but everyone asked for Miles Turner, so yeah. How could I not draft up a Miles Turner trade?
Yeah, give the people.
I wouldn't be doing this show justice if I didn't do a Miles Turner trade.
Yeah, give the people what they want, man. Okay, all right. So there's that. Okay, so here, okay. I like this one. I like this. I think I know what the people are gonna say here too. Okay, all right. Here we go.
I don't know if you like it for the fact of shock value, if you like it for the fact that it actually is a good trade.
Hold on. Let's pull it up here. Give me a second. Okay, here's the next one. Trade number 3, people. We are sending Julius to the nation's capital and Money Mitch in exchange for Kyle Kuzma and Daniel Gafford. Trade Machine says yes. Knicks fans, what say you? Kuzma and Gafford for Julius and Mitch.
Oh, man, the reactions are...
Yeah.
They're interesting. They're starting to roll in.
No, I'm not with that one.
All right.
Why did you want to trade Mitch in this one?
It's really actually for this one. If you want to get Kuzma on the team, you have to throw Mitch in there to make the money work.
Make the money work.
Yeah, I don't like. They're not going to take Evan Fournier to just have sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
If it were the Fournier, then you're giving up draft picks. So are you going to send out? Did you want to send out more draft capital just to get Kyle? Did you want to send draft capital with Julius Randle?
No.
Because they're going to have to take Evan Fournier?
No.
The one argument I would say for the Wizards in this is that with Tyus Jones, with Jordan Poole, that team is not going to completely tank. That team's going to be somewhat feisty. I could see them as a low end, middle 30 win team.
Yeah.
With that roster, with Gafford. I know Kuzma opted out of his contract, but if you get Kuzma back on that team, I think they're in the same spot again as they were this year. So if you're going to do that, do you just want to be low end competitive, or would you rather get an upgrade and see what you could be? And that's where I'm thinking maybe the Wizards could say, hey, Julius could help us out in this deal. And you upgrade your center position from Daniel Gafford to Mitchell Robinson. Knicks fans are obsessed with Kyle Kuzma. I wouldn't say all of them, but some of them are. So if you want a guy who, I guess, athletic, can shoot, and a good movement shooter, like he can shoot off screens, he could add that at the 4 if you're looking to then. So a lot of thoughts where you either have to think that RJ is going to take that next step to be like a top tier wing, or you're thinking that you're going to get yourself a top tier wing somewhere down the line to replace the production you get from Julius Randle.
Yeah, I wouldn't do Kuz for Julius. I throw like IQ. If I'm gonna get Kuz, I put like IQ in the package for Kuz. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do Julius. Like, what if he did a sign and trade with IQ? IQ for Kuz. IQ gets his close to 20. Kuz gets his what? What's he want? 25?
So he obviously because he opted out of this, but the thing with IQ is that extension wouldn't kick in until next season, right? So
that's right. That's right.
So he's still on that rookie contract. So you would still have to figure out the salary. So if that's the case, then you're probably throwing in an Evan Fournier. You're probably throwing in Evan Fournier. You're throwing in a man quickly. I know for Kuzma, he wants 30 million. Probably won't get it. He'll probably get somewhere closer to like 25 between that. So maybe the money does work out there, where I think Quickly's making 6. Six.
About that.
If he's making that plus Fournier, you could do a deal like that. If you want to go get Kyle Kuzma. Cool thing about Kuzma is it's pretty switchable. He can play, even though he plays power forward, he can play a little bit of small forward. Question is, if you did get him in that type of roster, how does Tibbs utilize him? Would he be willing to go small ball 5 with Julius and have Kuzma out there?
Not like
I wouldn't do this trade, but if you did get Kuzma on this trade, on this team, would Tibbs be more flexible at the small ball?
Interesting. What do you guys think in the chat, man? A lot of people, they're sour on these trades, man. I feel like a lot of people would just prefer to run it back. They
want moves.
They
want us to be the fleecing team.
Yeah.
Which is very tough.
They want moves, but they're scared to make moves. This is what I'm getting from the chat here. They want moves, but they're afraid to make a move. Okay, so that was number 3, man. What do you guys think in the chat? Leave us some comments, and we'll take a look. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP and Alex on the 1s and 2s. Remember, people, that this show is presented and sponsored by Manscaped, man. Yep, #1 men's grooming tool below the waist, man. Make sure you check out all of the great products that they have. They have a ton of great products for today's man. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. We're in the middle of summertime, man, so we're going full Jordan, fellas, if you know what I mean. You don't need me to break it down for you. We're going full Jordan here. Get the Lawnmower 4.0. Check out the Performance Package 4.0. They have a lot of different curated packages for you guys as well. That comes with shampoo, body wash, conditioner. You have the ball deodorant. You have regular deodorant. The whole 9 yards, man. Great packages for today's man. So once again, go to manscaped.com. Use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. No testimonials. Okay, so that was that trade. The Kuz trade. All right, let's take a look. That was number 3. All right, let's see. Which one should I go with for number 4? Okay, this one's a doozy. All right, I'll save that one. All right.
Oh man, I know which one's a doozy too.
All right. We're go with. Here we go. We're going to the Shy. Yup.
Uh-oh.
Zach LaVine in a blockbuster trade for RJ Fournier, a protected first in 2024, which is, I guess, a Dallas pick. Oh, no. The Knicks' own pick protected in 2024, the Detroit first-round pick in 2024, and the Washington pick in 2024 in exchange for one Zach LaVine. What are you guys doing in the chat, man? Dead the hype. All fire emojis. He's with it. Well, what do you think? What are you thinking? I can't see the Bulls going with just all protected picks, especially when we see the diminishing returns that those are bringing in. You're definitely going to have to give up your 2024 unprotected, at least. They got to get picks back from the Vucevic trade.
I mean, I guess I would give up the 2024 unprotected pick.
Yeah,
and
you would
I'd
have to
be willing to do that because the likelihood of the Knicks being a lottery team, very unlikely. So I'd be comfortable doing that.
Well, yeah, Chris Dowd in the chat has a point. They wouldn't be able to trade their 2024 unprotected first because they already traded 23. Right?
They can trade it now. Once it's you can't do it prior to the trade. You talk about for the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
So after, I'm pretty sure once that draft has concluded, then you can now trade. So you couldn't do it prior to the draft, 23, 24, but now that it's over, now you can trade 2024.
Got you.
So 2024 could be an option right now to trade.
All right. Well, the point is, who's doing that? Let's go back to it. Zach LaVine. Here we go. You guys want to talk efficiency and all of that? You're trading RJ. You're giving up on Broadway. An unprotected pick in 24, 25, whatever it is, plus 2 protecteds in 24. Are you guys doing that? Yes or no? You guys want upgrades? You guys want to make moves? Are we doing this for Zach LaVine, man?
I see. This is getting much better results than the last.
Yeah.
All right. There's some people who would like Zach LaVine on this team. And some who still believe in RJ.
Bad move. Zach is not worth it. Man. I don't know, man.
It's tough.
It is tough.
This is very tough. It is very tough. Because what makes these trades tough, man, is because as a fan, I like homegrown talent. Like, we're both Yankees fans. We saw the whole core 4 grow, come up and be successful. And you want to see your own drafted players be successful on this team. But as is common throughout the NBA, most of those guys don't stick around unless they're stars or superstars, right? Yeah. I mean, let's use the Nuggets, for example. 3 years ago, where they faced the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. That team was not only Jokic and Murray, but you had, I'm pretty sure Gary Harris was on that team. Monte Morris was on that team. Mm-hmm. Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee. You had Malik Beasley, right? It was a completely different team. You didn't have Bruce Brown. You didn't have all those guys. And the team that won that won, so many pieces changed. The only 3 that stayed the same were Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
So that's a core that when you get that type of core that's considered your stars, your top 3 guys, those are the guys that are going to stick around. The ancillary pieces are the ones that get moved. Do we have a star on that team? because if on this team, because that's what you'd have to consider. If RJ's that guy, then you don't trade RJ for Zach LaVine.
Right, but that's a big question. Will he be that guy?
That's the question. And we're gonna keep. I like RJ, man. I like RJ, even though people in the chat know I can be, I could be too forgiving because of his age and his inconsistencies. But then towards the end of the season, I was too harsh on the guy, right?
Yeah.
But the guy showed promise in the playoffs where he could be consistent and relied on without adding much to his game and having a simple game, right? Things that he's strong at. So that gives me some hope that he can improve on that. But the part of me that still says this guy has been inconsistent to start the season and throughout the regular season, that memory has not left me.
So all right. So let's say we get LaVine. Let's say you do this trade. Where are you playing him, at the 3?
Yes, you need shooting on this team, CP. This is the ugly truth of this roster. When you say you got to add shooting on this team, it keeps going back to the two guys, RJ and Julius.
Yeah.
Because you're going to tell me that you're going to add a shooter on the bench, and then the guy that you extended for over $20 million is going to be sitting on the bench in close games. I know we did that this past season, but you're going to tell me that once the extension kicks in, that's what's happening?
I don't know. At the 3, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. Is Zach LaVine a better player than RJ? Yes, absolutely. Will RJ ever be the player that Zach LaVine is? It's tough to tell. I don't see it. Doesn't have nearly enough wiggle in his game, but it doesn't mean that he can't be an impactful offensive player, right? He might not need to. Defensively, I think it could be a toss-up. I liked how RJ defended to close out the playoffs. But to see, LaVine at 6'5" at the 3, I still don't think that necessarily gets us there defensively, especially in the lineup with Brunson and Randall. But I mean, only for only RJ and a pick. I mean, forget the protected picks. Who knows? Those could be second rounders for all we know. I don't know. I got to sleep on that one.
I see people saying, Alex, why would Zach be playing the 3? I mean, let's look at this past season.
Who else is going to play the 3?
Who was guarding Jason Tatum before the Hart trade? Wasn't it Quentin Grimes?
It was.
Who was guarding Jason Tatum after the Hart trade? It was Josh Hart. It was not RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
We've seen Grimes defend the toughest guy on opposing teams, whether it's been the shooting guard or the small forward. So teams make it work, man. Teams make it work.
Yeah, but we've also seen teams shoot right over the next 2, man. Some nights it's been all right, but some nights you're just damn, we're not big enough out there.
But if you're scoring at a high rate, are you okay? This is where this is where you take that risk, right? Is your offense going to be that much better where you can gamble on being lesser on defense? That's that gamble that you'd have to take. Yeah. This is the issue. These are the things with trades. Yeah. It's never comfortable.
It's never comfortable, man.
Never comfortable. You don't walk out of this thing always saying we won the trade. Okay?
Yeah.
Very few. I mean, we can even go back to the KP trade. We thought we lost that trade. Thought the Mavs won it, but did the Mavs actually win it? No.
I'll do it.
You're going to do this trade?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it, man.
That's tough.
I'll do it. For that price, I'd probably do it. I'd probably do it, yeah. I'd take a gamble on it. Yeah. What do you guys think in the chat, man? Thumbs up, thumbs down. How you guys feeling about that, man? It'd be a tough one for me, but I think I'd do it. I think I'd pull it. Yeah.
And you were getting on me for trading RJ for Paul George.
Yeah, PG doesn't play. I mean, no, look, Levine's got injury problems too. Don't get me wrong, but PG's 33 with injury problems. And then you got to sign him to a big bag. So, all right, I'm seeing mixed reactions, man. A couple thumbs up. Capo, I'm appalled. CB.
Where's JD? So I know he could be angry that this trade is even be.
Oh, he wants Zach by any means necessary, man. He's a Zach LaVine stan, bro. We did.
RJ's his favorite player, though.
I see. I didn't get that. We did have John Krasinski on this morning for NBA Report, and we did talk about the LaVine-Tibbs dynamic and the CAA clutch beef. And while he couldn't, well, you guys should go back and watch the episode. Go subscribe to the NBA Report, #1 show for the fans by the fans. But he did speak on the fact that, Tibbs and LaVine had a productive coach or an amicable coach-player relationship that extended even after LaVine was traded to the Bulls. He said LaVine's a hard worker. He's a grinder. He's coachable. That comes from the relationship with his father, who was a tough coach on him. And so John Krasinski of The Athletic, who covers the Timberwolves, felt like that relationship was positive and that wouldn't have any impact. Now, the whole clutch CAA thing, who knows? But from a coaching player perspective, he thought it would be okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's even clips out there. I think there's a clip out there where Zach doesn't have any issues with Tibbs. I think it was after he was traded to the Chicago Bulls, but yeah, make sure you go check the episode out.
Yeah.
I think that relationship still would work, man. The Zach LaVine and Tibbs relationship. I don't think there's anything to fret about that one.
Yeah. Very interesting indeed. Okay. And do we have the fifth one? Lined up? Let's see. Yep. Save the best for last. Here we go. Let's see what the people think.
Oh, man. I'm just putting this out there. I would never do this trade.
There we go. Let's do it.
Never.
Let's do it. Well, if you're coming up with it in the trade machine, then you're certainly open to it. So here we go. Here it is. We're bringing back Karl Anthony Towns. We're bringing him home. Towns and Taurean Prince for Fournier, Mitch, Obi. The Knicks protected first in 24. The Dallas first in 24. The least favorable protected picks that they have in 25. And the Bucks top 5 protected in 25 for Karl Anthony Towns and Taurean Prince. Karl Anthony Towns set to make $62 million in the 2028 season. Now, obviously, the cap is going to go up. But boy, oh boy. Oh, we got people literally vomiting in the chat.
Oh, they do not like this one.
Yeah, they don't like this one. Let's go back
to it. What do you think? I don't blame them. This trading for Karl Anthony Towns, trying to figure out a trade for Karl Anthony Towns, very difficult. Very, very difficult. But if you want that center that everyone keeps asking about, that spaces the floor, this is probably what you're going to have to do. Fournier helps get that salary met. Mm-hmm. You got to move Mitchell Robinson because I don't see the Knicks having Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson on the same team. You add Obi to that deal as well. just because I think if Tibbs wants a power forward that's going to shoot threes, that is what Taurean Prince has done.
Mm-hmm.
And then because the Timberwolves are probably looking to get draft picks back, this is the compensation that they would probably look for somebody who's been, I think he's been, what? Has he been a three-time Is he a three-time All-Star?
Who? Cat?
Yeah.
Let's look it up right now. Cat has been a All-Star 3 times. Correct.
3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA third team.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that they would want some draft compensation in return for him, especially since they made the deal for Rudy Gobert. So they would get the Knicks lottery protected. They would get the Dallas first rounder. They would get a pick swap in 2025. They would get Timberwolves would get. This is where I don't know what Fanspo is doing with this, with the most favorable or least favorable protected, but the Timberwolves would get the most favorable. I don't know if that's the least favorable for the Knicks or how they want to designate that, but Timberwolves would get the most favorable. And top five protection in 2026 for a first rounder. Because thought is, if you're going to have Karl Anthony Towns for that long on the contract, you would hope to be competing where the team doesn't go sideways and you're back in the lottery. But if you do, you'd still want your top 5 pick.
Yeah. Well, if we were a more stable team defensively, I'd look at it. I'd do it. But I just think you bringing them here with Randall, with Brunson, I think their defense is going to be so terrible that it wouldn't even matter what he brings offensively because they'd be that bad defensively.
Yeah. You would need somebody like Bam or Draymond playing the 4 who can help cover a lot of Cat's mistakes defensively, or not even mistakes, just he doesn't have that lateral quickness to really defend. So if you want somebody who can help cover those deficiencies, you need somebody like those type of guys. I wouldn't do this trade just because I think Knicks defensively, as you said, would be just a turnstile. No, who are you asking? Grimes to cover everything?
Right.
Because it would be Brunson, RJ, Randall, Cat out there, and you better hope this team could put up 140 points consistently on a nightly basis to win.
Yeah, that would be tough, man. And we also did talk to John Krasinski about Cat and what the future holds, because the Timberwolves did sign Naz Reid to a 3-year, $42 million contract extension, to the dismay of JJ from Brooklyn and many Knicks fans. So, what will the future hold for Towns? We got into that with him. You guys got to check that out. Check that out on the NBA Report. Also available in podcast format. And what happens with Cat. So what do you guys think, man? What do you guys think about that trade scenario? Once again, Karl Anthony Towns and Taurean Prince in exchange for Fournier, Mitch, Obi, protected first-round picks in 2024, 2 protected first-round picks in 2024, 1 in 25, and a top 5 protected in 2026. Leave some comments in the chat, man. Leave some comments in the chat. Also, ladies and gentlemen, check out our second sponsor of the night, man. Check out our second sponsor of the night, and that is Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs makes incredible khakis and shorts for today's man. Very, very comfortable. They sent me not some khakis, sent me a pair of joggers and a couple pairs of shorts. Very, very comfortable, sleek, stylish. They're versatile. You know, you could dress them up, you could dress them down, and do your thing. Up and coming brand, man. Bird Dogs. Actually, funnily enough, they were actually on Shark Tank yesterday. I was watching an episode with these guys on Shark Tank. So nice. Shout out to the guys at Bird Dogs for sending me a care package. Very, very comfortable pants and shorts. And for your purchase, if you guys go to birddogs.com/pool and use promo code POOL, they will send you a tumbler, a Bird Dogs branded tumbler with your purchase. So, you know, your tumblers, you could put your tea in there and put cold, hot liquids in there. Nice little gift that comes with the purchase of their apparel, man. Yeah, definitely check out the stretch khakis as well as the joggers, sweats, and all that good stuff. Once again, go to birddogs.com, use promo code POOL, birddogs.com/pool, and use promo code POOL to get your free gift today. Okay. All right, let's get to the phones, man. Hear what the people got to say. Let us know your thoughts on some of these trades.
Let me get my raincoat first.
All right, no doubt. Area code 704, what's your name? Where you calling in from? 704.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
Tawan, from Newark, New Jersey, but right now I'm in North Carolina. I didn't have anything to say about the trades, but I saw a player that would have fit very well with the Knicks, and that was Omar Bates. You familiar with him?
Imani Bates, who just got drafted. He just got drafted.
Yeah, he got drafted by Cleveland second round.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought that the Knicks, he would have fit great with the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Prolific scorer. He plays a little defense every now and then, but I mean, I thought maybe in that third spot he would have fit very well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Imani Bates, man, draft stock plummeted. Ended up going to Cleveland with the second round pick. You know, who knows? We don't know if the Knicks scouted him, what they thought about him. Obviously, there were some character concerns there. Was once one of the top-ranked high schoolers. Went to Memphis, had some issues there. So we'll see what happens. You know, it's not clear on whether or not the Knicks had interest, but clearly they either couldn't get into the first or second round or had no interest in at least the second round to try to get a guy. So they must not have thought so highly of him, but we'll see if they turned out to be wrong. There's certainly some players that got picked in last year's draft that, you know, I thought could have certainly helped them, but that's just how it is, man. Draft is it's a crapshoot. 919, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Peace, blessings, and positive vibes. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Peace. What's good, man?
I can't call, man. Listen, all those trades were trash, man, especially the last one, man. I don't even know, like, you know, since we so strapped for caps, and you know what I mean, strapped on the cap salary, I don't even know where we could go. I know Cam Johnson is available. I would definitely try to look into getting him.
Yeah, you can't get him.
But
you can't get him.
Like, I don't know what we could do, man. Like, financially, like I said, right now, it's, you know, nothing we could do. Besides, you know, these injury-ridden players like Zach LaVine and Paul George, but we have nothing.
Would you prefer to run it back, sir? Would you like to run it back? There it is. You see the long pause, ladies and gentlemen? You see, he calls up, he says, your trades are trash, but at the same time does not want to run it back, and then doesn't have any idea of what we can do. He brings up Cam Johnson.
They want to kill me, CP.
He brings up Cam Johnson, who's a restricted free agent. We got no shot at him.
What's we talking about? You know, there's nothing. You know, this year's a free agency. We really don't have a whole lot of, you know, anything going on, man. It's, you know, like, there's nothing. Like, I just don't. We pay too much money to. Well, I can't say we pay too much money. Them guys earned it, but yeah, man, it's. I guess, you know, throughout the season, I guess we'll try to make another significant pickup somewhere like we did Josh Hart last year. Truthfully, I have no answers. I mean, we could run it back, but we won't. I don't think we'll get very far.
Okay. well, you said it, man. Peace, blessings, and positive vibes, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, peace, man.
You see? Wait, look. We're just looking for solutions. I'm just a conductor here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a conductor. We're just looking for solutions. We're trying to provide the people with some options, with some things to look at. Hey, if you don't think it's so appealing, then run it back. And hey, we'll see you in the Eastern Conference Finals, man. Whatever.
Or if you like any of these trades, or if you like a player that's in these trades, you can also say how you would modify these trades.
Yeah.
You do that too. Let us know what you
yeah,
think.
if you think some trades, let us know what you
how
think.
would you modify it? What would you do? Let's hear some of those thoughts, because as you heard from the caller, don't want to run it back.
Mm-hmm.
But you also don't want to pay and give up and potentially get fleeced, because what could these guys be? Because the Knicks have always been on the wrong end of trades where it's like, oh, we could have had this person. Why did we give up this person? Why did we give up the farm?
Yeah.
I get it.
Indeed, man.
But don't give me tomatoes then if you're not giving me a trade idea.
Yeah, hold the tomatoes if you're not coming with something better into the pot. Yeah. Let's go to Omar from the Bronx, man, on the Discord. Omar, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. How you feeling?
Good, man. Nice to hear from you guys. Listen, man, I'll say this. I think that if I had the chance to pull up trigger on PG, I'd do it. And the reason why is because I believe he has like 2 years left on his deal. So it's not as big of a risk, I think, as long as we're not giving up a whole bunch to get him. We may have to, which is probably why the front office kind of held off on those discussions. But PG, the whole age thing, it would be like a 2-year type of deal anyway. And then once he's off the books, I think you guys mentioned this a couple of shows ago, you have a bunch of cap space. And I believe that year, like a bunch of guys are up in free agency. Yeah. So I would pull the trigger on that. The main point I wanted to make, like at the end of the day, there are variables that are out of our control for any front office that either makes them look really smart or makes them look really dumb. I'll give you an example. The Miami Heat. When they signed Jimmy Butler like 4 or 5 years ago, everybody laughed at that deal, including me, probably everybody on this show, everybody in the chat, because everybody viewed Jimmy Butler as like a B type of player, kind of how we view Zach LaVine, how we view Julius, maybe to a lesser degree. We see them with like a ceiling, but Butler peaked. He hit a gear that nobody thought he was going to hit, and as a result, it makes the Miami Heat look like geniuses for giving him a max deal when nobody else would. But had it went the other way around, they would have been laughed at. Same situation with the Bucks, for instance. When they really hit championship contention was when Middleton peaked. Giannis, we knew who he was. It was when Middleton took that next step that nobody really saw coming. So the point I'm trying to make, no matter who we try to trade for, who we try to sign, we can always like nitpick their pros and cons. At the end of the day, you got to make a move. Whether it be trading a core player that you're attached to for somebody else, kind of like the Raptors did with DeRozan for Kawhi.
Yeah.
Or you just go out there and sign somebody. And listen, if it flops, it flops. That sometimes out of the front office control. As long as you're not doing anything crazy, like what we would have done last summer for Donovan Mitchell, you just take a chance on it. If it works out, it works out. Certain things, like you just got to take a chance. We can't just sit around and wait. So I'll end on this. This front office, they got to set this point. I think they're handling things the right way. They didn't trade the farm for Donovan Mitchell. They're keeping their eyes and ears open, but they're not doing anything stupid. So if the opportunity presents itself, I'm for LaVine. I don't want Cat because of the contract, but LaVine I'd be down for, and PG I would be as well because I believe he has 2 years left on his deal.
Okay. All right. Rate that call in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. 04 from the Bronx. Is he speaking facts? Drop a 5. If you didn't like that, man, throw some tomatoes in the chat. We won't judge either way, man. I'm just a conductor. But I thought Omar had some points. I thought he had some points. But the only thing about PG is that I just can't see the expected return by the Clippers being low. I don't think they're there just yet. Just think about it. They were trying to get Chris Paul. They almost pulled a deal on Brogdon. They're trying to bring Brody back. Like, they're trying to keep that window open. I don't see them just automatically just saying, okay, now we're just going to peel off, sell PG for nothing, and then just start the rebuild. I don't think they're there just yet. Maybe next offseason you can expect that, because I don't see them bringing him back either way on a long-term contract. So maybe it's next offseason that they start to trade PG, start trade Kawhi, and rebuild as they go into a new stadium. But I don't think that that they're just going to be ready to sell super low. You need somebody that's going to be able to replace him productivity-wise, so that they can keep their window open, right? They just try to get CP3. They almost got Brogdon. They're trying to keep their hopes alive just by retooling and getting some depth.
Absolutely. I think for PG, right? I don't know why you'd want to wait one more year where he could be even lesser value.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No
return.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you're the Clippers, I think you got to do it now. I know they're saying they're not really considering it. I think they actually are really considering it. CP. I think when you look at how underwhelming it's been with the PG and Kawhi experiment, when they're both healthy and playing, phenomenal team. Phenomenal. They're difficult to stop. But with all the injury history, with all of them missing so much time, and you're not getting that return, why are you going to go? So that's going to be the solution. Okay, let's run it back for one more year because we're going to be in this new arena. And then we're going to ask everybody to come out to this new arena to watch PG play 40 games, 50. Same thing for Kawhi, hopefully. Like that's a hard sell too. So you could even sell by getting a young talent in there saying, hey, we're going in a different direction. We're getting ready for something new, up and coming along the way. Just because it hasn't worked it out, you got to figure out how to turn that around. And if you're the Knicks, 2 years, PG, you don't extend him. No one says you have to extend him. Okay.
Yeah.
Even though that's what he wants, I don't know what other teams would be out there doing that, especially if he's missing a lot of time. But after his contract's done, Brandon Ingram does become a free agent that season. He's an unrestricted free agent. And maybe if you're the Knicks, you can go out and make a move after PG's contract is done. That's the other way to think about it.
The Los Angeles load management. So to everybody in the chat, man, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Oh, man. I just see somebody in the Discord that we haven't heard from in quite some time, man.
Oh, man.
If you guys forgot the name, he goes by the name of Cody Glock.
Oh, boy.
Now, bro, you had mentioned a lot of these trade scenarios. I'm not sure if he's calling to take you up on that.
Definitely why he's calling.
We'll let him speak for himself. I'm not so sure, but we'll let him speak for himself, man. Cody Glock in the building. Cody Glock, what's going on?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man. What's good?
I bet. Shout out Manscaped, man. I average 0 turnovers because of Manscaped. I take care of my ball profusely with the most friction in my mixtion.
Okay.
All right, boom, right?
Yeah.
So, it's been a while, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I missed you guys,
Oh, okay. No doubt, man. How you been, man? How you been?
Everything's been good, man. Just moved into my new apartment, man. We ain't in the projects no more, man.
Okay, moving on up.
We moving on up in the big things. We got friction in our mixtion. Everything's clean. Let me say something, man. I don't ever in my life.
Yeah. Talk to him, man.
I don't ever in my life want to see Mitchie in any trade talks ever again. You hear me, Alex?
Yeah, he's talking to you, Al. Go ahead, man. You got the floor. I'm sitting back. I'm in the back.
Why he was calling in?
Yeah, I'm in the cut. Go ahead, bro.
You want to say Miles Turner and somebody else I don't even know. You're Obi Hive, okay? You could swing Obi anywhere in the freaking country he wants to go. I don't care. Leave Mitchie out of this. You see, Mitchie SSS no snitchy, and he's never going to leave New York under any circumstances as long as I'm here rooting for this team. This is what's going on. I don't care if we get Paul George. Paul George, injury prone, watch. I don't care. I don't care if we get OG Anunoby trade for RJ or injury prone too. I don't care about those stupid trades. Mitchie for Cat? Are you kidding me? Mitchie's the heartbeat of this team. And people want to freaking trade Mitchie. I'm not going to take up too much time. Let me say one more thing, man. The guy that we have to get, it doesn't have to be a flashy Zach LaVine or a good-looking trade or whatever. The guy that we have to get, I say Jonathan Isaacs, man. And this is why. He's going to peak. And when he peaks, he's going to be one of the best defensive players in the NBA. Mark my words. If the Knicks could go after this man and get this man in any way, we don't have to pay him crazy high right now. Find out a way to get him. Find out Obi, go transfer. Whoever we have to get. Jonathan Isaacs is that man. Hot take, man. Yo, shout out Nicky Pipes, man. Shout out the Rhyme Animal Chuck Dean, man. Shout out CP Free Throws, man. Shout out Jamaicans. I love Jamaicans, man. We out, man.
Wait a minute. Jonathan Isaac.
D-Valve in the chat said this call went south fast. He was with me. I was very entertained when he was airing you out on the Mitch comments. I was with him on that lockstep. Congratulations on moving up, man. But then Jonathan Isaacs. Jonathan Isaacs, bro. Whoa. Yeah.
For the record,
Oh, man.
I want to trade Obi. I'd like to see him get some playing time.
Yeah.
But it's tough to see that happening on this team.
Jonathan Isaac, I mean, you want the all-injured all-stars. I mean, he's the MVP of the injury list. Wow. And I got up here on the Jumbotron, the old Mitch highlights from Summer League, man, when Mitch first made his name. Name was on the scene. Look at Kev. Kev was cooking too, though. Oh, man. Kev was in there cooking. Yeah, I remember this. This is when Kev and Mitch made their debut, man. Summer League.
This is the debut. Okay.
This is the debut. Yeah, man. Who's going in Summer League in the chat, man? If you guys are going to Summer League, leave some comments in the chat, man. Me and Al will be out there. Squad will be out there. So stay tuned for some announcements there. But, yeah, we will be headed out to Vegas, man, for a little Summer League. But, yeah, this was the game Mitch put his name out there. It's blocking threes. Super slim.
Mitch was the most promising rookie out of that class.
Yeah.
I remember,
Sure
I
was.
forget where I saw it. He had the best, I think he had like the best, I don't know if it was a true shooting or effective field goal percentage out of everyone playing that year. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I forget what it was. I remember seeing it on ESPN. I was like, oh, we got something here. Let's go.
Yeah. Was that the first bad Cody Glock call, man, in a while? No, chat, man.
Jonathan Isaac is not a name I was expecting to
rate
hear
that
today.
call. Should I bring that call to a vote? I don't know. I don't want to air him out like that, man. He's,
Oh, actually, no. Put it to vote.
All right,
You
yeah.
want to air me out for the Mitch comments?
Rate that
You want to
call
air
in
me
the
out for the
chat,
Mitch
man.
trades?
Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Jonathan Isaac, bro. What? Unreal.
Yeah. He's going to air me out for the Mitch trades.
Yeah. That was tough, man. That was tough. We're going to do on Thursday, we're going to do a mailbag. We'll do our off-season mailbag. Friday will be the big free agency show. So make sure you guys tap into that. Tommy Beer will be joining us as well, man. Shout out to Tommy Beer. We'll kick off the free agency show at 6 p.m. on Friday. We'll see what happens, man. As you know, a lot of these signings have already been agreed upon. It's just a matter of Woj and Shams hitting send in the drafts on Twitter. They've already got the tweets loaded up. The arms race will start.
With the graphics. Articles are ready to drop.
Yeah.
The agents already made their calls.
Yeah. The arms race will start at 5:59 and 59 seconds. We'll see who
But
violates
will the Knicks
who
make a
violates
move?
a moratorium. Will it be Woj or Shams by a millisecond? Somebody's going to violate the moratorium by a millisecond.
It's going to be Shams is going to be like, and the Pacers and whoever are in talks right now. Woj comes in a minute later.
Yeah.
The deal's done.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. TM says, ooh, show the Summer League game when Zion ripped Knox. Ooh, nah, I can't show that, man.
Oh, boy.
That was bad. I was embarrassed for Kev. When that happened, bro,
I was watching on TV.
the stadium shook like it was an earthquake. This was before the earthquake came. But when Zion ripped Kev, yammed it on him, and then flexed on him, the place erupted. I said, oh my God. I sat back down in my seat. I said, bro, I can't watch this, bro. Because, RJ kind of got off to a slow start. Then he got a little injured. Zion was going off. Everybody was there. Floyd was there. LeBron was there. The whole place was packed.
And you know what made that thing even worse? I'm pretty sure the Knicks were favored to be in Summer League, to be Summer League champs too. And you're like, oh, you got some guys coming back. Mitch, I think, what was it? Was Mitch in that one? Was Mitch in that Summer League?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
Mitch was in that
You
game.
had Mitch, you had Knox, you had Trier.
ISO Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe couldn't play because he got sick. Good Lord, man. I remember watching that. I was like, this is really what we're. Woof.
Kev never recovered, man.
Oh,
never recovered.
I remember that game too, because everyone was tweeting saying we made the wrong selection in RJ. Oh my God, he can't hit a shot.
RJ he was Brick City Barrett that game, boy. He wasn't hitting. He wasn't hitting. Because you were looking for RJ to clap back, and Zion was like, wooing the crowd. But RJ couldn't get it going either. And then I think he pulled up with a hamstring or something. Something was tight on him. And he couldn't finish the game.
But then Iggy Brazdeikis showed out.
Iggy? Oh, man. Iggy Hive. Ugh. Iggy Hive was almost as bad as the Cam Hive. Iggy Hive. Man, remember we had that one Canadian fan? I forgot his name. He would just call in to talk about Iggy. Once they got rid of Iggy, he stopped calling. Kobe says, where's ISO now? I have no idea, man. I have no idea what happened to ISO, man. I'm going to check in with his peoples, man, and see what's good. His peoples were big fans of KFTV, man. Big fans. They were in the chat. His mom and his aunt was in the chat. They'd be vibing with the people. Somebody said he's in Europe. Speaking of Europe, we did speak to our guy, Rafael Barler, about Rokas. A lot of people were asking if Rokas was going to make it for next year. He doesn't think so. So it looks like Rokas he's stash. You know what I mean?
Doing well over there in
Spain.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Spain. 646. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
That's me, CP. I'm live.
You live, man. Your connection sounds horrific. We got to fix that ASAP. What's going on? What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
It's Ring from the Bronx. I got a trade idea for you. How about the Clippers got so much depth, but their stars never, they always injured.
Yeah.
How about we send them somebody that's not always injured? Let's send them Randall.
For who?
We take back Mook. We take back Covington. The money matchup. We take their 2028 first round pick, lottery protected, and 2 second rounds. Would you do that trade?
Absolutely not. But thanks for the call, fam. You got to get your connection situated too, man. Sound way far away, and I can't do that trade, man. I can't do that trade, man. We're not there yet.
He said Luke Kennard.
He didn't say no. He said Mook. He said Marcus Morris.
Oh, I thought he said Luke.
No, he said Mook. You see, so you couldn't hear him. That's case in point. We got to upgrade my man's connection. He said Mook plus Covington, a protected first, and 2 seconds for Julius.
Come on, man.
Yeah, we can't do that, man. Can't do it.
Come on.
Yeah, we can't do that trade, bro.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Can't do it. Can't do that trade, man. But thanks for the call, though. Definitely cannot do that. I thought he was about to get Julius for Paul George. I was waiting for something, but he was trying to do just a complete.
Now you're just after Randall's one of Randall's better seasons. We're now just selling him for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah. Nah, I don't think so, man. Wow. All right, close this up, man. 732. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
Wow.
There he is, Dan from New Jersey. What's good, man?
Hope y'all having a good night, fellas.
Yeah, man,
I've been trying to get in touch with somebody about what's been going on this week with my Knicks, man. Listen, man. I feel like the team that we rolling with right now, man, I feel like we got really good depth, one through 15. We got really good depth. I think we're one of the deepest teams in the league. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I believe in Brunson as a bona fide number 2 guy. On a finals contender. I think he could be your most important scorer in crunch time on a team like that. I do think we're a piece away, but the way that this front office has decided to build this team, it's a little bit more complicated than just built through the draft or just or built through trade. It's a little bit more complicated because now we've got some assets that, we don't really want to get rid of because we kind of need them if we're going to make a run. But at the same time, we can't just throw away seasons anymore because, well, A, we're too talented for that now. And, B, Dolan wants to put those butts in seats. He wants to make that moolah come playoff time. So I think the best way to go forward, man, I love PG, man. I love Paul George, and 2 years of him would be cool, but 2 years of 40, 45 games in the regular season, and I don't even know if he's going to be there for the first round, second round, much less, like, God forbid, the conference finals. I'm not willing to do it. Maybe for a certain price, I might take a hack at it. Like, if you talking about a couple, like maybe a young player that isn't RJ, and maybe a couple of picks, like if you want to buy him on the low, you could talk me into that. But my problem is, man, it's like it goes back to the old saying, man. I don't want to put lipstick on a pig, man. We got to build this thing the right way because you only get one shot at this. You only get one shot. Like, Knicks fans want to go get Zach LaVine. They want to go get, like, they wanted to go get Bill, but we can't afford to do that, man. We can't afford to, just settle. We can't settle. We can't just let everything slip by either. Don't get me wrong. You really gotta analyze everything. And if I'm Leon Rose in the front office, I'm looking at everything possible and I'm taking everything into account. But man, we just really gotta stand pat and wait for the time to strike. I don't know who's gonna be available out there in the future. I don't know who's gonna be a free agent out of nowhere that suddenly isn't looking to resign. I don't know if we're gonna find the guy through trade, through free agency. I don't know if the guy is in our squad right now. It's not likely, but I don't know, man. So I just want to tell Knicks fans, man, trust me, we're in a good place right now. The only thing that we could really do is mess it up by doing something hasty, man. Like, we literally can't mess up if we stand pat. We can't, because we got a good thing going right now. We got our picks, we got our youth, and we have a star, at least one. I don't even know if we have two, man. We might have two. Look at the end. Look at the end of that starting lineup. Look at the end of that bench. Who knows, man? Weirder shit has happened. Oh, my fault. Weirder things have happened, though.
Yeah. You're my goddamn man. It's okay, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
Break it down.
To say, though, fellas, I hope you guys have a great night.
Okay. Have a good night, man. Okay. All right. Dan from New Jersey calling in to say, I don't know. But he's hopeful. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Listen now. These people, they were down on the trades, but the moral of the story is nobody's got alternatives. Nobody's got alternatives, man. You're either scared to make a move or you want to stand pat. But if somebody, after this show, if somebody has a tweak to a trade or a trade that they would like that is going to upgrade the team, we're not talking about tanking and pulling it back. Like the last caller from the Bronx, if we're going to tank it up and we're going to pull it back, okay, yeah, that Julius trade is fine. But the way Brunson is playing and where things are, it's just not going to happen. So we're talking about trades to move it forward. You know what I'm saying? Hang tight. I'm going to give one more. We got one more call on the line. I'm going to give this one caller a chance. Maybe they got something here. Area code 929. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm redeeming myself.
Who's?
You see, you guys was laughing at me about Jonathan Isaacs and all that, right? Yeah.
It's Cody.
You don't know. Jonathan Isaacs, when he comes back, he's going to put in pain on people. But that's either here and there. If it's not Shea Gilgeous, right?
Yeah.
If it's not freaking Damian Lillard, what do you want the Knicks to do? What do you want them to do, man? Nothing's going to save us, bro. We have nothing. We can't do nothing. Trade Obi for what? We can't even get nothing to trade Randall. You Knicks fans, what do you want? You want nothing.
Yo, why didn't you just call back on the Discord,
right?
man?
No. Just take Jonathan Isaac. Get what you get.
Yeah.
He's going to be a good player. If we don't have Shea Gilgeous, we don't have Damian Lillard, what the Knicks is doing? What, Zach LaVine? What do you want to do, man?
Okay.
Don't play with me. And don't play with Mitchie, because he's not no snitchy. I love him. He's my heart. Shout out Nicky Pipes.
Cody Glock, ladies and gentlemen.
You say Shea Gilligan?
Yeah, Shea Gilgeous. Shea Gilgeous. Hey, we're rolling with it, man. We're rolling with it. It's Cody's
Island.
Yeah, it's Cody's lingo, man. Anyway, listen, man. It was a great show. A productive show. Salute to everybody, man. Rocking with us, 1,500 strong in the chat. Hit that like button. Continue to hit that share button. Hey, 65K and gunning. Let's go. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D, man. $10 super chat says Josh Hart is the next future brass. Allen Houston, if his sacrifice works for the bigger picture, LOL, that's the way to look at it. Those fans are crazy. We need a Josh more than another prima donna. Shout out Chris Dada says CP, the big wing you describe is none other than CAA's own Kyle Kuzma. RJ sign and trade is in order. All signs point in their direction. Rhyme Animal Chuck D, $10 super chat also says many 6'5", 6'9" wings are dependent upon the system that plugs them correctly. Many are abundant in size and potential, but often aren't in the manner of the system and the coaching needed with these teams. Shout out to Dean Sumo. Rhyme Animal Chuck D also says Kuzma would spend more time in the fashion side of 7th Avenue than on the Tibbs defense. That's a fact. He'd probably be trying to start his own line and everything. Zay B, shout out to Zay, says go look at the Bulls record before Levine got there and after. He doesn't move the needle. Chuck D, I hear Cody about finding under the radar surprise wing as opposed to a bloated name who feels like they're not going to hustle on the Tibbs. So Isaac type who wants to work. We may get by surprise. But I don't know, man. He's just so injury prone. You don't even know what to trust with him these days. Shout out K Marco, 5-month franchise channel member, says, bro, I hate any trade that includes RJ or Grimes or Mitch. I'd rather stand pat or move Randall for Mook, like dude said. Let Obi rock out. Okay, so K Marco was rocking my guy from the Bronx, man. He's rocking with him. Okay.
Here we go. Someone wants to give a solution, man.
There it is. There it is, man. Ladies,
even with the Mook trade, someone's trying to give a solution. I can appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to support our sponsors, man. Go to Oakley.com. Check out the latest and greatest styles, man. Salute to our friends over at Oakley for the sponsorship. Also, Manscaped.com. Use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. And go to BirdDogs.com. Check out the latest with the khakis, sweatpants, joggers, all the nice stuff. Very comfortable. Go to birddogs.com/pool. Use promo code POOL, like swimming pool, for a free tumbler with your purchase. All right. Thursday, we'll be back on Thursday. Any breaking news, we'll be back before that. But next show will be Thursday. Our free agency / off-season mailbag episode. For those of you that didn't get your calls in today, call back on Thursday. We'll get to your calls. And then Friday will be the free agency show. 6 p.m. Eastern. CP, Alex, Tommy Beer on the 1, 2s, and 3s. And there that is, man. NBA Report rocking Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday for the simulcast. If you missed today's show, check it out. John Krasinski, a great guest. We broke down the Nas Reed extension, what it means for Cat and Rudy Gobert, Tibbs, Zach LaVine. We broke that whole thing down, all on the NBA Report. And we're going to keep it gunning, man. Remember that this show's available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. So make sure you tap it in with your guys, man. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. We out of here, man. Al, great show. Have a great night, people. Peace.